Intro. Hold on. Background music.
Welcome back, Reedie Zee, Monday Command. We got another one for y'all. Adam Peters is speaking at the owners' meetings. He speaks to Kay Adams. Also, will a Terry McLaurin extension be coming soon? Stay tuned right here. Reedie Zee starts now.
It's the Reedie Zee Show. Reedie Zee Show. It's the Reedie Zee Show. Reedie Zee Show. Reedie Zee Show.
Reedie Zee,
What's
Monday.
up?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing? How you feeling today?
I'm Gucci. It's a beautiful Monday. They said it was gonna rain all day. We ain't really got too much rain and sunshine. It's feeling good. Had a good weekend. How about you?
I had a good weekend too, but before that, it's looking like it's getting some productivity over there. I see the back area looking a little cleared out. Got the stripes going well all the way around the room. You out here?
Yeah,
The cave
by the
is coming
season,
along.
By the season, it's gonna be up down here. I'm telling you, it's gonna be up down here. Gotta get my coin together. Once I get my coin together, it's up.
My man said I'm building a commander zone in here.
Yeah.
But nah, weekend was cool, man. Just a chill weekend. Played a little basketball. Just tweaked a little injury. Like I'm on an IR right now. I'm on a 4-week. I should be back. Before then. So we're gonna see how it's looking. But other than that, I woke up, happy to wake up this morning to some news. I didn't even know the league meetings were starting today. Was you here?
I definitely wasn't, because I kind of stepped away from the Commanders for a minute. I'm back in school, so that's on and popping. I'm back in the office 4 days a week. I'm off on Mondays, so that's how I'm able to do this show on Mondays. But it's been a little tough. My kids is home from school, so we got that. So been kind of like being a family man a little bit here lately.
Yeah, no question. But yeah, we get right into it. Today, Adam Peters spoke at the NFL meetings, talk about a couple of different things, the acquisitions of Ken Law, and Deebo Samuel trade, Larry McTunsil, talk a little bit about Terry. We're going to show a few clips for our viewers, but if you haven't already, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and follow us at Reedie Zee on all platforms. And, stay tapped in with us. We're going to keep y'all updated every Monday with Monday Command. And we do our Wednesdays with the Burgundy Breakdown with Juan Gotti and John Dow from Ball and Burgundy and Juan Gotti Talking Sports. But yeah, man. So, let's start it out. Terry McLaurin. Of course, we've been talking all season that extension should be coming. We've kind of wanted it early on to kind of generate some more cap and be pretty active. That hasn't came through yet. I'm surprised that wasn't done yet. But there was a little sprinkle of some, conversations have been had. And he didn't really talk too much, and we're gonna show the clip. But how you feeling about Terry not getting this deal yet, or want to jump right into it?
Let's play the clip first, and then we'll discuss it on the back end. But here's the clip from Up and K with General Manager Adam Peters.
Watch on. Is it about time to get the Terry deal done? Where are we at?
Ooh, good question.
Where are we on the Terry?
We love
clock?
Terry. Love Terry, and we've had some really good conversations with his representatives. We're gonna keep those in house, Kay. That's what Sean told me.
I'm reading the body language, though. I don't know how you're feeling good. It's trending in a positive direction.
But we really, we want to make Terry a commander for a long time.
Watch.
So yeah, there you guys have it right there. We heard it straight from Adam Peters. They want to make Terry McLaurin a commander for a long time. And I think that that's the best thing to do. Terry is a true commander through and through. When it wasn't going so good here in Washington, he stayed 10 toes down. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say a word. He just continued to work. He just continued to be who he is as a player. And now he's reaping the benefits of that. He was just extended a few years ago. But I think this extension is probably going to see from 30 million, maybe a little bit more.
Absolutely.
If they're smart and they keep it, and they keep this together, Terry Jaden Daniels' connection is on and popping in Washington, and we just added a few more weapons that I'm a little bit more excited about this week than I was in weeks past. I don't know if the last receiver signing that we had kind of took me over the hump, but I'm here for it. Like I'm positive. I ain't got nothing negative to say. So I know y'all out there say Reedie negative, man. Listen, I'm positive right now. Z ain't too happy. He's talking about where's the corresponding move. So, but he gonna rap to y'all about that, man. Go ahead, Z.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, definitely excited to hear that, conversations have been had. I mean, we already pretty much knew that, Terry, like you said, Terry is the true definition of a commander. And pretty much he's been, Mr. Stay Down his entire career with us. He's been productive. He's been our leader. He's been our guy. So to hear it come, directly from the GM mouth, it definitely does, let you know, okay, cool, things are working well. And a deal will be coming. So excited about that. Reedie just mentioned, the most recent wide receiver acquisition, kind of getting him excited, get him moved. I'm just looking for Terry to have another year, and with us acquiring Debo, I think that's going to be an exciting pair. But beyond them two, I'm looking to see who steps up and be that third guy. But yeah, definitely excited about it for sure, because Terry, he deserves it. And you've seen wide receivers get paid this year. The Bengals just paid Higgins and Chase. You see Diggs got a little bag. So I expect Terry to definitely hop in there and get north of 30 million as reported previously, and it's up. So he deserves it. Let him get his money and let's keep it going.
Yeah, and Adam Peters also talked about, a guy like Deebo Samuel, like, bringing him in here, what his thoughts were on that on K, but we're going to let it play for you here right now. So here we go.
He agitates people. Like I'm obsessed with him, but I think he is a little misunderstood sometimes.
No, he's an incredible competitor. He's an incredible dude. We wouldn't have brought him in if we didn't think all those things. If we didn't know what a great teammate he was, what a great competitor he was, and obviously he's outstanding on the field. I've been around doing this a long time, and there's not too many guys I know that can lift a team on the field more than Debo with his competitive greatness and like put a team on his back and will you to win games. And I've seen that over and over against he just did with Les, like he did it against the Rams a few times, Eagles. So
yeah, take that, Les.
But so to get a chance to get him is something we really wanted to do, and he'll be great for Cliff's offense.
XO wise, talk to me about can you tell me how Debo will make Jaden better?
Anytime you can surround any quarterback with a weapon, that where they can do the work, they can really make a play out of nothing. That makes anybody better. But I think the way Cliff's offense is run, you can get a catch and run guy like Debo, and he can play in the backfield. He can play in the slot. He can play outside. He can go deep, but he can also do a lot of screens. So those things just open up the offense and allow us to be more multiple on offense.
He agitates.
Yeah, talks a lot about my man Debo. It kind of addresses what a lot of people was talking about, where Debo doesn't want to be a running back. Debo, he just wants to be a pure receiver. Well, it looks like, just like Z was saying, a lot of this offseason, Debo didn't just come here to be a wide receiver. He's going to be that that guy that comes and provides us in multiple areas. A mixture in the backfield, in the slot, reverse. I don't see him getting and being like a feature runner all the time like he was in San Francisco. But I definitely see him getting a few carries a game. Be a little extra compliment in the passing game on pass downs. Definitely he might be a throw off on the early rundowns or whatever, but I think he's gonna be all over the field, and that Swiss Army knife that we've been talking about. And I think it's up. Peters even said, he wouldn't have brought him here, if he had worries about him. He's a competitor. He knows him. He drafted him. So I'm definitely excited. The Debo move is definitely one of the moves I'm extremely excited about. Rightfully so. So I just want to see him kind of revamp and have a comeback year and turn up in this offense.
Yeah, I think as I've had time to digest this, I remember a few weeks back when the news broke that we were signing Deebo Samuel via trade. Z was expecting a reaction from Reedie that he didn't get. I was on vacation at the time, so I couldn't really process it, you know, in the moment. But in hindsight, seeing Deebo work, seeing him, behind the scenes, seeing a couple clips here and there on Instagram, on X, and things of that nature, I feel like Deebo is all in. Then they go out and they sign him to a $17 million deal, make it fully guaranteed up to $20 million. And I think that we have a motivated Deebo Samuel. Like, I see the clip from his trainer the other day where Deebo was in the lab working, and he looks like he's in great shape. And he wasn't in shape last year. He was dealing with that coming off the pneumonia situation, and he probably wasn't able to work out. And they said Deebo said he was 225 or something like that. His weight, he was up maybe 15, 20 pounds of his normal weight. I don't know what his playing weight, maybe like around 205, 210-ish in that range. So I think definitely Adam Peters is cooking at something, and he is that Swiss Army knife. You can play him anywhere. You can play him at the X, you can play him at the Z, you can play him at the Y, you can put him in the backfield, you can move him around, you can motion him, you can do a lot of trickery, a lot of window dressing with Deebo to get other guys involved in the passing game. And then you pair him with a Terry McLaurin and a Michael Gallup and a Noah Brown and Austin Eckler and a B Rob and possibly whoever we go out and get in this draft. I'm thinking it's going to be one of these good receivers, maybe a Luther Burden, a Golden, or in my case, a guy that I'm really high on, a Savion Williams. You bring one of those guys in there, and you got Gallup taking the top off the defense, and Terry possibly taking the top off the defense. I think it's up. And then also, who knows? We may go tight end in the draft. I mean, this is kind of a good draft for tight ends as well. So I think this signing is pretty big. I really couldn't see it at first, but now I kind of see it. I'm kind of a guy that wants it all at once, but I see what they're doing. I see, like, you got to take baby steps. You can't just go and just say, oh, we're going to get 2 top tier receivers right now to pair him and give you a number 2 and a number 3 receiver. We got to build this thing, and I think that AP is cooking, and he is kind of building this thing for the future.
Yeah, and one of the key things he did say, being able to get a playmaker such as Deebo and it not cost, and understanding that it wasn't a huge cost for us, it made it very enticing. So being able to snatch, basically, being able to snatch him only for a fifth, made things very enticing for him, and they made the move. So, shout out to him for, pulling that off. And of course, like, when I seen it was a fifth, like, I was super excited. Like, we ain't give up shit. So, definitely low risk, high reward situation. And, like we always said, he on that 1-year deal. So you're expecting a lot of motivation, because not only is he trying to redeem his name, he definitely trying to get the bag too. So, it's looking up for sure. And I have high expectations for Deebo Samuel this year.
Yeah, no question. But if you're new to the channel, if you haven't already done so, please help us grow our channel, here on YouTube. Also, you can see us over on X. You can also see us over on Instagram at Reedie Zee on all social platforms. Tap in with us. We clip up everything. We're your go-to source for breaking news when it relates to the Washington Commanders. So if anything breaks on the Commanders, we're probably going to be posting it right when it breaks. So use us as a channel to stay in the looping with your news, but also hit the bell notification so when we all drop informative videos like this, you are the first to see it. And also all the other things that we're doing within the communities, within the Washington Commanders community. And like we say all the time, this is a platform where you can chime in. We'll put your comments on the screen. This is a safe place. We're going to debate and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Feel free, if it's a negative comment, to just say it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You don't got to necessarily be positive all the time, because I'm negative a lot of the times anyway. But I'm going to call it like it is. And what y'all learn about Reedie is I'm going to keep it 100. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to make it look sweet. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let y'all know how I'm feeling when I'm feeling. If I think it's a dumb move, I don't care who it is, Adam Peters or not, but that's what we do here. But moving along, Z, what we got next?
Next, we got to talk about, Peters addressing Laramie Tunsil and Deebo as well, but he's specifically talking about trades per se. But one of the key things he mentioned about Tunsil was that we really wanted to bolster the offensive line, and he's, in their opinion, one of the best. So, it just attributes to being able to see that the guys out there and available, and that, was able to snatch somebody up for his caliber. It took us quite a few picks, but hey, we was able to pull it off, and we definitely upgraded that room, give us some versatility to move Brandon Coleman over us, things of such. So excited here, but we're going to play the clip where he's talking about both Debo and Tunsil.
How big of a recruiting tool is Jaden Daniels? Because from my perspective, as just a fan and someone who talks to players on television, they all love him.
Yeah,
they all want to play with him. Like, how key is he?
It's huge. It's huge. It was like last year when we hired DQ. All these players wanted to go play for him. All these coaches wanted to go coach with him. And now getting a great quarterback like Jaden, a great young quarterback who's not just a great quarterback, but a great person that people want to be around, that people want to play with.
Dunk.
And that's great. So you get a guy like Debo because of that. You get a guy like LT because of that want to come and play for us. So it makes our jobs a lot easier.
Yep. And then in addition to that as well, there were some quotes that he dropped on Nikki's page, and I'm gonna read those to you shortly. Well, yeah, just kind of talk about what he said about Jaden being that recruiting piece. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, I think that's real. Like, I just was watching a video on John Keim. He was interviewing Jaden Daniels, longtime quarterback coach, and he just was talking about just what kind of guy he is, how humble he is. Like, these are the things that we've seen all of last year. Just talk about like the work ethic that he has and that he puts into his craft on just the little things. Like, people forget about just the footwork. So just how he operates, and just he's always joking around. If you look at him and Bobby Wagner, they're going back and forth with each other and things of that nature. And what he put on film last year, like, you would be a fool not to want to come and join something like that. And then with DQ and his coaching staff, we was able to retain almost the whole coaching staff. And they're coming back in year two just to, like, they talk about when Tressway signed his deal. I know this is a little off topic, but bear with me. Tressway signed his deal. How he came in the building, him and his family, and coaches are jumping up and down, partying and cheering and this and that. That is culture, people. Like, they have turned it around. So going back to the point about people wanting to play with Jaden Daniels, it's not just Jaden Daniels. It's everybody. It comes from the top down. It comes from an owner that, put people in place, hired people, and got out the way. We didn't see that for many years here in this organization. So it's just a breath of fresh air all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And then all that they're doing at the facility, they're redoing the weight room. They redoing this. They redoing that. They made it more family orientated for, players and their families at the stadium and at out at Ashburn. So, you couple all of those things and you would be a fool not to want to come play here. Like, it just seems like it's fun. Like, look with the Patriots, the Jonathan Jones, who we just signed. He said coming in, like, you would be a fool. Like, He didn't say that, but he said, basically, summarize what he says. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was just basically saying it was definitely one of the top places he wanted to come, based on the culture and what he was hearing about it. Dan Quinn, being that player-friendly guy and things of that nature made it attractive. But also, Dan Quinn talked about it last week with Logan Santana and Smoot. He was just talking about the culture in itself, and he was just basically saying that, last year they talked about, going out and getting guys and creating the culture and things of that nature, and now they can actually describe what it is to be a commander. The coaches, yes, they set the foundation and they set the culture, but it's nothing until your players buy into it. So pretty much, like, for instance, if you see a new guy come in, say for instance, like when Marshawn was traded for, and mid-season you come in, the coaches don't have to go around and say this is how we do things. The players are taking the lead and showing the way. The culture isn't something that you can touch, but it's sort of something when you get there you can feel it. So he spoke pretty big on that, and coach is big here. So I definitely think with Dan Quinn being player friendly and like you said, a man of a leader of men, like you continue to talk about that prior to us getting him. So with him being a leader of men and also being that fun guy and creating what he did create on top of having a quarterback like Jaden. It just makes this place totally attractive, and I definitely think as as years and years come, we're going to definitely acquire and attract more people to want to be here and be a part of what we're building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Under old regimes, we would just go out and throw the most money at all of these top tier free agents. And I've been kind of quoted with, throughout this offseason saying, I just want to give people the bag. No, I want dogs. I want dogs at all costs. If you got to pay a little bit to get a dog, because the dogs is what makes this league run. You got role players. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that, but the dogs is ones who make this league run. And, a good friend of the show said that, he was making a comparison to the linebacker Zach Bond from Philadelphia. He was a special teams player. But what Wes said, another good viewer of the show said was, show me people that you don't know. Like, the only reason why you know people's names is because they did something in this league. So if I don't know your name, I don't know what you've done in this league. You could just say, oh, my name is Jacqua or something like that. I'm like, who? Who's that? Never heard of him. You know what I'm saying? What have you? You know what I'm saying? So the dogs are the ones that make this league run, if we're being honest. So that's where I come from that. I just want dogs. But yeah, man, you right on that. But go ahead and hit those talking points you were going to hit before.
Yeah, so pretty much just to kind of read through, Nikki talked about, she said, as far as, I mentioned the Adam Peters and Thompson one, but he also said Adam Peters on the possibility of trading down in the draft to collect more picks. We currently sit at 5. He said that's something certainly that they'll consider. They'll consider everything. And there was actually a clip out there earlier that I saw that pretty much it was talking about, JP kind of asked the same thing. And he, like he said, he was like, everything is on the board, but right now we're at 5, and that certainly can expand during the draft. So I definitely think they have their eye on moving back. Now, when that is, I'm not 100% sure. My prediction, like we talked about last week, my prediction is if you get to 29 and it's a guy that that's high on your board, you can't pass up, you got to take that guy. Especially if it's one of the top running backs, if it's one of the top receivers, you make your move. Now, if it's something where, because we've been hearing that picks, 30 through 60 are pretty much you're getting some of the same type tier guys with this draft being so deep in skill positions. So maybe you can, make a jump back and, then, acquire more picks or something like that. So everything is definitely on the board. And, we saw last year with the Commanders log, Peters is well connected around the league. So, people are going to be calling him. He's going to be calling people and trying to work some stuff out. Every situation, every moment, there's a chance to do something. So I just like the mindset of being open and not kind of like being locked in on one thing. But I do think that, at some point in this draft, we are definitely going to trade back. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'm hearing differently. I just watched on Locked On, not Locked On Command, Take Command episode with Logan Paulson and that's my man. I can't remember his name. Well, anyway, Locked On. Well,
Brian, was it Brian?
No, I can't. Craig Hoffman. I'm sorry, Craig Hoffman. They had on their show the other day CBS analyst Mike Renner, and he's saying that from 17, like this draft from 17 up is in that category. So anywhere in that range. But he did also say that a lot of the notable top names may slip in his draft for this reason or that reason, and maybe some character issues and things of that nature. So you may end up with a top tier edge or a top tier somebody that, you didn't think that necessarily was going to be there at 29. But he also thinks that the Commanders would trade out of that spot to trying to garner some more picks, because what he's saying is that the cream of the crop is in the middle rounds of this draft, your third, your fourth, your fifth round picks. When it relates to brevity of position groups, offensive line, edge, defensive tackle, obviously, this is a deep draft for running backs. Also, a lot of wide receivers in this draft as well. So you can get some quality players basically for the cheap.
Yeah, definitely. And there was actually, he also touched on the Kinlaw deal, and basically like with Kinlaw basically saying he's a big guy. He's
Game
playing.
changer is the word I heard.
Yeah, big guy, game changer. They was talking about his weight around like 320, his playing weight, and they were saying that he'll be a D tackle. He also will be out on the end, so he's a guy that kind of set the tone. So I mean they're high on this guy. I mean rightfully so, like as you said. I mean, well, it shows that with the deal that they gave him, they know something about him that we don't know yet. So definitely intrigued to see how Kenlaw works out, but. It seems like AP is that's his guy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I come from the thought process right now. What we've done in free agency, we kind of shored up those need areas. So you got to take BPA, best player available, on your draft board, and that's something that we haven't really seen here lately. So it's new territory for us. And trading back, I think, would probably be our best bet to garner. And he kind of hinted at that clip that we just played or whatever, like in previous drafts. What he did last year, he was able to what all them second round picks we had last year. He turned
we had
like
all 3
picks.
Yeah, 3.
So if he can work his magic and get on the phones and move back and make some more picks within the second and third round, I think that's good value for this team moving forward. And I'm here for it. I'm just looking forward to this draft and to training camp. I'm skipping OTAs, but I just can't wait to be out there and see it live on the grass.
Definitely. Also, seeing out there, there was a tweet that came out from Kime. One of his write-ups. He was saying Washington definitely he agreed that we should take BPA at 29. We don't necessarily need to take an edge. We could still use an edge rusher. However, we were interested in Bosa and DeMarcus Lawrence in free agency, but with the added depth through free agency and a quality edge rusher class in the draft, we are not forced to take one with 29, which frees them up to take whoever they like best. So, yeah, definitely looking like BPA is a best chance for us. You know what I mean? Shit. You know me, I'm gonna be geek if we get a receiver. If we get one of them good receivers, I'm gonna be geek. My whole season will be set at that point.
Z trying to run it up. Z would just want to score points. He trying to be the next best thing to the greatest show on turf.
Definitely need another receiver, bro.
Yeah. But if you haven't already done so, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so you can get informative videos like this every time we post. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok, as well as X at Reedie Zee on all social media platforms, as well as hear us on all podcasting platforms in the audio version too. But this moment of the show is for you guys. What questions do you have that you want us to talk about? What are you guys thinking? What do you guys think we should do in the draft coming up? Who do you think we should take? We'll give y'all a couple of seconds to chime in.
Well, we definitely on the Instagram side, people's talking about Cam Scatterbo. What we talked about last week, we're not kind of like, we want a breakaway guy, somebody that can change direction, somebody that can take it on the field from anywhere. Cam doesn't necessarily fit that mold in our eyes. So, I personally want somebody, again, I want somebody that's going to take the distance. We've had the years with B-Rob as our one. We thought Eckler was going to get that change of pace, which he is to some sort, but he ain't breaking nothing. I mean, he broke that kick return. I'm still kind of puzzled how the hell he did that. But, outside of that, like, it's like we don't have no speed. We need overall. Yeah, that ain't count. We need overall speed on this team. So I want somebody that runs like a 4.3, something of that nature that can just get it.
He was clocked at a 4.6. 4.6 people. Scatterbo was clocked at a 4.6. Last week on the Burgundy Breakdown on Wednesdays that we do with the good guys, John Dowd over at Ball in the Burgundy podcast and the one and only Juan Gotti talking sports. That's what we talked about. Like, what was his speed? Like, we didn't know what his 40. He didn't run a 40, but then it came out later in the week. He ran a 4.6 at the pro day or whatever. They clocked him at a 4.6. And that just doesn't meet the needle for me, people. And then I want to pose a question to the chat while you guys still chiming in, what y'all want. What do y'all think about taking Sean Taylor's little brother out of Rice? I hear he ran a 4.3 in the 40. He got a lot of intangibles. When I looked at the stat line, it didn't really wow me, but I thought it was serviceable. Is that somebody that we're willing to bring in here out of Rice in the later rounds, maybe a 6th, 7th rounder? What do you think?
Position?
He's a safety.
I mean, he's I'm about to say he's safety as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's worth a look. I mean, you think is he projected to get drafted? I don't really know much about him. I seen his name pop up every now and then, but I didn't really kind of like stop and dig into him. But what you think he paused? You think he's is he projected to get drafted?
I mean,
is it a Bronny situation?
I think it's a brand situation. I think possibly, maybe. I'm not too sure either. I haven't really done a lot of research on him. I've seen him over the years here and there, but you know, I mean, it could be a later round, undrafted free agent type of deal, but it's, you know, kind of on the sentiment of, is Sean Taylor's brother, like put him in a burgundy and gold type of situation. That's what I'm getting. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that like this is something that we should look to do, you know, off the strength of, you know, Sean T and what he brought to this team and, you know, his legacy or whatever?
I want football fitness. I mean, if he can play, bring him in. But like I said, if it's a Bronny situation, I'm cool on it. Like, I don't need no more. I don't need none of that. Like, if he can play, he can play. In my opinion.
They said it'd be like Bronny to LA.
They said that's what I just said. Yeah, they said he's lacking size. He'll be a great special teams player though. They said he's a lot of people in the comments saying undrafted. So yeah, I mean definitely if you're undrafted, bring him in. You know, we've been saying fill the roster, camp bodies, bring him in and shit. If he stands out, then wonderful. But yeah,
I mean, he can't be no worse than a KJ Osborne. I mean, we got KJ Osborne on the roster. I mean, shit, we could bring anybody. Shit, we could bring me in at this point. Shit, I'd be your third down back.
This offseason, this offseason, those two letters together just been triggering me. So don't get me ticked, Bobby. KJ Osborne.
So I wanna talk about this right here. Rochelle Davis said we have 4 running backs. Do we think we draft a running back? Absolutely, we draft a running back.
Absolutely.
These running backs in our
4 the same guys
are not the answer. And don't get me wrong, I'm not as well as I like B Rob. And don't get me wrong, I just had to come to the conclusion he's not a 1A back. He may be a 1B, 1C back, you know, second down back, you know, short yardage back, but he's not. B Rob doesn't give me what I want. I need somebody that can take it 80. He can't do that. He maybe could take it 30, 40. We've seen him take it like 40 against the Tennessee last year. Was it Tennessee, right? That's where he took it, 40, Z, Tennessee?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the delay. Was the longest run of his career.
That counter, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, so that's why I stand on that. Like, I feel like B Rob, he could do his work down in the red zone, but I feel as also Cliff has to do a better job of calling plays for the running backs in the red zone. You keep running read option in the red zone, Cliff. Stop it. You got
comments over here.
Huh?
My bad. The comments over here saying we should have never let Gibby walk.
Oh my God. What
you already know how I feel about that.
Where did they say that? Let me.
IG.
Oh my God! I hopped off.
They should have never cut Gibby.
Y'all still sold on Gibby. He did absolutely nothing. Did they let him walk?
I thought he signed a multi-year deal. I don't think he signed a 1-year deal.
Confirm his standing over there.
Gibby is not a free agent because if he was a free agent, you not would have been mentioned that.
Oh,
Gibby in this offense? Come on now.
I mean, I would have took Gibby over, you know, the latter two backs, Rodriguez and McNichols. I thought McNichols was going to do a little bit of something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it might be the way that they're featuring him. I don't know. But everybody seems to be sold on Rodriguez all of a sudden, saying how great of a runner. I was in the barbershop the other day, and they're talking about, yeah, Rodriguez, I like the way his runs. What have you seen him run? He had 2 runs. Like what? Like what did you see in Rodriguez like to make you give you the inkling that he can get it done? He get a little 10-yard run and y'all sold on that. Shit, I can run 10 yards. Like, come on, bro. Like, if the blocking is set up, they talking about he got good vision. Where we see it? Where did he break one that we could see his vision? Because I ain't seen it.
He had that decent game, and I think what was his longest run? Maybe somewhere between 15 to 20 yards was his longest run last year.
I'm with you, Mill.
Right.
C-Rod is a practice squad guy. Practice squad.
I think with opportunity, he can do a little bit more. I don't know what that is. I don't know, but I think with opportunity, he can be a little bit better.
They said that's not the Taylor I want.
Stats.
I want Nate Mason.
That
Taylor.
was 16. It was 16 yards.
He broke a
16.
It
was a 25 yarder he had as long as run. 25.
25
house call last year.
House call.
What was that a house call? I think it might have been. I think it was a house call. But he finished last year with 173 yards. He averaged 5 yards a pop. 2 tutties. Shit, what did B-Rob average? 2 yards a pop.
Well, I think it was like 4 point something. 4.3. Yeah, 4.3.
Yeah. What was B-Rob longest run last year?
That 40-yarder that won Tennessee. It was like 40-some yards.
Yeah.
That was his longest run.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, we want to thank y'all for tapping in with us today for another edition of Monday Command. You can see us Wednesday night around 9-ish o'clock for the Burgundy Breakdown with John Dowd from Ball in the Burgundy podcast, as well as Juan Gotti from Juan Gotti Talking Sports, as we do our off-season collaboration, talk about everything Washington Commanders. Again, you can see us back here next Monday around the same time, 1 o'clock-ish range. But thank you. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Also go over to Instagram and chime in with us where we can get any discussion started on anything. We post daily over there. And we want to thank our sponsors, The Pie Guy, also Saray's Catering, also KB3 Events, and powered by Great Clothing Line. Be great all day, every day. And until next time, I'm Reedie.
I'm Zee.